As someone who's got 85,000 followers on LinkedIn, it's time we start talking about something that people don't talk about. Most founders on LinkedIn are leaving money on the table. And it's not because they're bad at business, and it's not because they don't really have value, but it's because they're playing LinkedIn like a stage and not a system. People are posting, sure, but they're not really positioned correctly. They're visible, but they're not trusted. They're showing up, but nobody's really converting. And if you're a high-performing founder, someone who's actually built something real offline, but you're not really seeing the results that you want online, this video, it's for you. I'm going to walk you through the 5 biggest mistakes that founders are making on LinkedIn that are quietly costing them millions of dollars, but how to fix them in a way that doesn't really require burning out, selling your soul, or chasing all those vanity metrics. Here we go. Mistake number 1, posting without positioning. This is the foundation, guys, and it's the one almost everybody skips. Most founders, they jump into content before they've really clarified exactly what they're actually known for. They're posting stories, reflections, lessons, value, but if I audited their last 10 posts, I couldn't tell you who they helped, why they're credible, or why you should even work with them. And if your ideal client can't really answer those 3 questions right away, you're not building a brand. You're generating scroll noise. This is how I see it, all right? Every single piece of content should either build trust, filter your audience, or reinforce your positioning. That's it, nothing more. If it's not doing one of those 3 things, you're either showing off or you're showing up confused. All right, let me give you an example. One time I coached this founder. He ran a very wildly successful logistics company. All right, guy was posting productivity tips, inspirational stuff, reflections. But when I asked him what kind of inbound he was getting and what he wanted, he told me, I want high-level B2B enterprise clients. So I said, then why are you writing for startup founders who like life hacks? He was attracting applause, but not alignment, all right? And once we recentered his positioning around actually building invisible infrastructure that moves $50 million in freight without friction, his content changed and his pipeline exploded. Mistake number 2, optimizing for the feed, ignoring the profile. This one kills me. You're writing incredible content. People click your name, and then all of a sudden, they land on a profile that's vague, outdated, or just bland. No identity, no differentiation, no clear next steps. Imagine you're running a great ad campaign, but your website homepage just says, "Hi, I do stuff." That's what most LinkedIn profiles look like to me. Your profile, it's your silent salesperson. It's the conversion layer. All right, here's the checklist that you need. Headline. Does it instantly say who you help and how? Your about section. Is it story driven? Is it client focused? And is it emotionally credible? How about your featured section? Are you giving people a reason to stay and explore you? How about your call to action? Is it visible, clear? Is it frictionless? There's a founder that I work with, updated just their headline and their about section, okay? And within a week, they booked 3 inbound calls. Same posts, same audience, just better context. The profile is the multiplier. Fix it once and your whole system is going to lift. Here's mistake number 3, talking to peers instead of buyers. This is a trap for smart people, especially high context founders who spent years in their field. All right? You start writing for people who already get it. Your colleagues, your competitors, your community. But your buyers? They're not living in the nuance, guys. They're living in the problem. When your content sounds like it belongs in a Slack channel with 10 other experts, people that you're speaking above the people who actually pay you, you don't need to prove how smart you are. You need to prove how relevant you are. Here's a test. Take your last post, read it out loud, as if you were explaining it to someone who's smart but has absolutely zero context. If it doesn't land, it's not client-facing, it's ego-facing. Buyers want clarity, they don't want cleverness. Here's mistake number 4, treating comments like an afterthought. Huge mistake. This is the unsexy truth about how I built $1 million brand on LinkedIn and a massive following. I commented every day for years, not just random comments, not just things like great post, actual contributions, strategic placements. Most founders, they treat content as the main game, and it's huge, but they ignore the entire commenting ecosystem. Here's why comments matter even more than you think. They get seen by the right people at the right time without needing a viral post. They build familiarity, they build credibility, and it's done passively. They open doors without you having to cold pitch. I can trace real revenue, high ticket revenue, all the way back to comments that I left on posts from creators, investors, and buyers. One founder I coached made $40,000 off of one comment that led to a DM that led to a deal, all without posting that week. It can happen. Stop thinking comments are a waste of time. They're one of the most under-leveraged trust channels on the entire platform. Lastly, mistake number 5, using LinkedIn like a spotlight instead of a system. This is the real shift, guys. Founders treat LinkedIn like a stage. They post once a week, maybe once a month. They get a few likes, they feel good, but then they disappear. And then when things slow down in the business, here's what happens. They come back and they ask, why isn't this working? It's obvious, because it was never a system, it was a stunt. Let me show you what the system actually looks like, okay? Positioning, clear point of view, one-liner identity, brand that filters, profile, optimized for emotional resonance and next step conversion. Posting rhythm, at least 3 to 5 times a week. Each post building one part of the narrative. Commenting, daily, intentional, targeted engagement, okay, across the ecosystem and the right people. Lead path, DM scripts, Calendly link, or a CRM, something that's trackable. Your offer, all right? When they're ready, is your offer ready for them? This is real. When you build this, the flywheel starts. Inbound builds slowly, and then faster, and then it compounds. You don't need to go viral. You don't need to post daily. You don't have to burn out, but you need structure and a system. Here's a bonus, the invisible tax of being inconsistent. All right, here's the 6th unspoken mistake, just for the real ones who've made it this far. All right, the biggest cost on LinkedIn, it's not necessarily time, it's inconsistency. Every single time you disappear for a month, every time you rebrand every quarter, every single time you chase a new content format without reason, you're gonna lose trust. Quiet founders especially need consistency because our value isn't in the hype. It's in presence, it's in reliability, it's in how we show up when it's not loud. I've never gone viral, but I've been visible and credible to the right people for 5 straight years. That's what pays off, okay? If you're a founder, you don't need to overhaul your life. You don't really need to dance on reels. You don't need to go full-time creator. But what you need is a strategy that you can do consistently without resenting it. And that's what I teach. That's what I live. That's what made my LinkedIn presence the most profitable and peaceful part of my business. Subscribe if you like this video and get going.